Oh, I missed my cue, didn't I? Hey guys, Hammerbeard here. I want to do a video on one of my favourite things in the world, and it's drugs. Now before I get into this, let's just address this. You know, you're all like, Hammerbeard, where's your sweet hat? But, you know, I'm aware I look like a gay Peruvian soccer player. You know, I ain't getting over Donald Trump's wall. But I spent $30 on this haircut, so I'm just going to roll with it. Now when I say I love drugs, I'm not trying to be funny, I absolutely love them, they're amazing. And I mean, this is such a hard topic to actually try and tackle, so maybe I will try to bring my opinion to the table and we'll start breaking it down, we'll go from there. Now I hate the term drugs because it is so uninformative to what we're actually talking about here. You know, on one end of the spectrum you may have something that you'll take every day, like coffee or paracetamol, and then the other end, we've got crack cocaine. You know, so we don't actually have a very good word to understand this broad spectrum of things. The fuck? So from the outset, we're already kind of biased towards this word. There's always that negative connotation of the word drug, you know, through the war on drugs, the education system, we just kind of feel a bit about the word. And through the pressure of this bias and medical and law enforcement reasons, we have made certain drugs illegal. So let's use that old Hammerbeard method of breaking down exactly what this claim means. We have allowed the government to tell us that a substance is so dangerous that we should never use it. And if we do, we need to go to jail or be punished in some way. So when you hear that for something like crack, yeah, get rid of them, you know, people are peeing nuts. But we already have laws to protect people from violent crime. So if I was to get my face bashed in by a peahead, that guy's going to jail. So the only thing that's left that's repulsive about it is the health issue. So the addiction. So we need to treat it as a health issue after that. Because the criminal aspect is already taken care of. Now let's move down the ladder a bit to psychedelics. I mean, let's look at this. All psychedelics will do is alter your consciousness. And here I mainly talk about LSD, you know, mushrooms, just really well understood psychedelics. There is zero chance, unless someone is mentally ill, that they're going to be violent. These are just inner reflective journeys. How could we criminalise this? And remembering these are Class A, Class B in most westernised countries. What we're effectively saying here is we need to put people in jail for altering their consciousness. There's a term for this, it's called cognitive freedom. So how could anyone police our right to alter our own minds? Could you ever be in the position that you think the current mindset we have is the correct one and we need to be policing any change in it? To me that just seems absurd. Like, the only argument you could ever have against psychedelics is a health issue, and there doesn't really seem to be any research that lends to that. At this point I wish I could give some like amazing story about how psychedelics changed my life and stuff, you know, like I saw eagle fly over my village and then I knew I need to quit drinking, or something of that effect. Unfortunately I don't. I have taken them, and I can honestly say they've given me some of the most profound experiences I've ever had. Not life-changing, but they just take you to strange places the normal waking consciousness won't actually take you. And of course that might not actually be good for people that are mentally ill. So if you're mentally ill, don't take them. Just gotta interrupt at this point. I got the One Ring. You know where I got it? AliExpress. For $1.90. Can't offer it for all that trouble. It's $1.90. So I'm of the position that every drug should be legal, and it should only really be seen in the light of a health issue. Now going back to what I said before, about we already have laws to deal with violent crime. So if you're under the influence at a certain time, you're still going to be prosecuted for a violent crime. Now I did say I wanted all drugs legal for a reason, because who's not to say there is a perfectly normal way of taking meth? You know, it probably does happen somewhere, and I don't want to criminalise a guy that can regulate his own mindset and body, I don't think I have any business doing that. But if there is someone that's doing it and it is not working well, we need to treat him medically. You're not going to do him any good putting him in jail. And then the few bad apples that do go out, stabber, they go to jail because they have committed a violent act. And isn't it absurd that this is completely legal while, marijuana isn't? I do love beer though. Oh, I'm going to drink this beer. Now the whole legalization of marijuana happening right now is actually giving me a lot of hope, because it's bringing out sort of the threads I'm talking about here, that people are free to do what they want, and even more, it's treating it as a health issue because now we're using it medically. And as we get deeper and deeper into these arguments of medical marijuana and its recreational use, I hope we start to bring in things like psilocybin mushrooms or DMT, because we're talking about things that can be very helpful and therapeutic tools. I'm really disappointed in myself. This is about drugs and I haven't been remotely funny. I haven't said anything funny about drugs. So I just want to quickly go over the negatives of drugs. I mean, we've done this, but I just want this to be somewhat balanced. So we've said, it's addictive, and that's a health issue and we should treat it that way, and people do bad things on drugs. But as I said, we've gone over that too. So what else is there left? It's such a fascinating topic. I could go on forever about it. I'm going to leave it there though. I hope further I'll talk about psychedelics and sort of their uses. Yeah, I guess the message is just take heaps of drugs. Just get in there, son. Have some drugs, they're great. If you want to look up someone that is just being profoundly changed by drugs, Terence McKenna, God, you gotta look him up. He's kind of the guy that, if he played a flute, he'd come out of the forest and he'd tell you great stories. He's amazing. And another person, Graham Hancock, he does some really good stuff. I implore you to check him out. But until next time, 420 Blaze it and such, and I'll see you later!